Basically, I wasn't being the husband and the father I should have been. And we were going through some argumentative times, and we got into a pretty nasty argument. And what happened is, well, I spoke out and I said, "You're undesirable," which was really hurtful to her. I mean, it really hurt her bad. And it put a wall up between us. And over the time, it just made our marriage, made us more separate. It didn't make us bond, obviously. So then, as the revival broke out, I started to attend church, and revival started to hit me. And then Pastor Kevin, he had some videos of the revival, and I was watching them at home. And one night, Minerva came up to me, she says, I want to go. And being that we had kids, that meant one of us had to stay home. So I was like, all right, I'll stay home. So she went, and then when she went...
Well, I went, but I just wanted to go because I wanted to feel closer to God. I just wanted to get away from him and the kids and just go and just feel God, just touch him. But the hurt is, prior to him saying I was undesirable, was I was already feeling that. And the enemy knows what you're feeling and where you're vulnerable. And of course, every woman always wants to be, loved. And I just felt like I was just a servant, and I was a stepping mat, and it was horrible. It was a horrible life for me, and I wanted out. So I go to the service that day, and I'm sitting there, and Pastor Kathy and Pastor Dave Thomas at the time, we were going through the worship. I didn't even know if we had a service. It was just the worship alone and the songs. And I just said, you know what, God? I said, I'm going to walk up there, and I don't want nobody touching me. I don't want hands on me. I didn't want people to see me walk up there. I just wanted to walk in his presence and just be in his presence and know that I could just get closer to him. As I got closer and I just knelt down, I don't know if I was standing or kneeling, or somebody touched me, and I went down in the spirit. I could hear everybody around me, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Lord, I says, what are you doing? Why am I still here? Why can't I get up? I'm thinking this, because you could hear all around you and people are all around me, and I just felt like, okay, what's going on?
She tried to get up several times, and every time she tried to get up, the Holy Spirit would nail her back down to the ground. And finally she was able to put her hand up, and she said, Pastor Carol, Pastor Carol. Pastor Carol turned around and looked at her. Minerva said, hurting women. It's about hurting women. And Pastor Carol pointed at her and said, no, you're the hurting woman. And then she went down again. Bishop had told me that back then there was no big thing about cell phones. Hardly anybody had them. So he was saying, anybody got a cell phone? I want to call Will, because he had went up there and was talking to her, and they got a cell phone. They flipped it open, and Minerva called me. I was talking to her, and she said, I love you. And only God can do that. The thing of it was that she was so hit by the Holy Spirit that she couldn't even drive home that night.
I couldn't walk.
They had to bring her home, and actually her sisters, and I think my brother-in-law Dave, I think they had to carry her and bring her into the house. They had to leave the car at the church, and she come home, it was like she was at some kind of, like she was drinking. I mean, she was so drunk in the Spirit.
Drunk in the Holy Spirit.
She was just like, something that I created, a mess that I created. God didn't say, well, you know what, you created is handling your own. He actually went in there and restored what was really broken. I mean, God forgave me, she forgave me, and we move on. We don't sit there, but we do glorify God on it. We definitely do.